Good day, students. So we are now in the second chapter of MMW, or Mathematics in a Modern World, which is the language and symbols. Okay, so in this chapter, uh, there are three topics, which are mathematical language, the language of sets, and then the language of relations and functions. So for this video, I'm going to discuss it to you the first topic, which is the mathematical language. So for learning outcomes, at the end of the lessons, you should be able to first discuss the language, symbols, and conventions of mathematics. Next is explain the nature of mathematics as a language. And the last one is to compare and contrast expressions and sentences. So in history, for 1,000 years, mathematicians had developed spoken and written languages that are highly effective for expressing mathematical language. So this mathematical language has developed and provide a highly efficient and powerful tool for mathematical expressions, exploration, reconstruction after exploration, and communications. So this power comes from simultaneously being precise and yet concise. But the mathematical language is being used poorly because of poor understanding of the language. The mathematical language and logical reasoning using the language from the everyday working experience of mathematics. So I want to highlight this word or the sentence here. The mathematical language is being used poorly because of poor understanding of the language. So you as a student and formerly I do have that kind of mindset also. So when the first time or when we hear the word mathematics, so one word will come up into our mind. That is the word difficult. So the reason why we have that kind of understanding or mindset because like what it was said here, we have a poor understanding of the language. Pero kapag ang mathematics ay pinag-aralan natin at inunawa natin, masasabi na natin yung salitang I love math. Okay, so hopefully at the end of this lesson or mathematics in the modern world class, I will able to say that hopefully. Okay. Okay, so notably, mathematics has its own language, so much of it which we are already familiar with. Okay, such as the digit 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. So those digits, those numbers, and those language we are already familiar, tama? So, for example, okay, sabi dyan, if we're going to refer as 0, it means nothing. Okay, kapag sinabi nating 0, we understand its meaning na it's nothing. So for example, you have your 10 item quiz and you got no correct answer. So it means uh, you got 0. Okay, in mathematical language. For example, you got at least one correct answer. Okay, so yung in mathematical language, you have one, okay, as your score. Okay, so yun yung ibig sabihin nun. So there are many symbols in mathematics and most of it are used as precise from a shorthand. So it is quite important that we are familiar or familiarize ourselves using these symbols and we understand their meanings. So mathematical language can be easily understood by context and conventions. So what are context and conventions? So for context, it is what we are working or the particular topic being studied. So for example, let's go to the basic addition. Okay, so in addition, we combine. Okay, so that is the context of addition, combine things. So in subtraction, so you need to deduct, di ba? So that is the context of subtraction. While in convention, it is where mathematicians and scientists have decided that particular symbols would have particular meaning. Okay, so going back in addition and subtraction. Okay, yung symbol for addition, the symbol for addition is plus. Okay, so the mathematician and scientists decided that the plus symbol means is to add. Okay, while in the minus symbol means to subtract. So that is in convention. Okay, so let's proceed to the language before we proceed to the mathematical language. Okay, so meaning of language, a systematic means of communicating by the use of sound or conventional symbol. For example, yung sound, let's start with the sound, A. Okay, so its sound is A, but the conventional symbol of A is just the first word in the meaning. A systematic means of communicating. Okay, so that is what we call the language. For example, B. It sounds B, but when we're going to write it down into symbol, so letter B siya. Okay. Next is the system of words used in a particular discipline. System of words. Okay. At even system of symbol. Okay. For example, yung word na walk. So, okay. Ang meaning ng walk is to act of traveling. Okay. Or an excursion. Okay. Or excursion of foot. Rather. So, yun yung ibig sabihin ng word. Okay, language, sabi dyan, it may be described in terms of vocabulary, symbols, or words. So like what I have said before, my example before. Okay, grammar consisting of rules on the symbols. So when yung mga past, di ba, past participle, past present tense, okay, yun, yung paggamit ng all, na mga conjunction, okay, yun. Next is community of people who use and understand this symbol. So, sa atin, dito sa Pilipinas, we use the abacada as our Philippine alphabet. Okay, so sa American, yung English alphabet, yung ABCD. So, meron namang alphabet na ginagamit sa Japanese, sa China, di ba? Sa Russia, sa Thailand. So, iba-iba. Okay, and then the range of meaning which can be communicated through this symbol. Yung mga ano ba, even yung mga hieroglyphics. Okay, so yun. May mga meaning yung bawat symbol. Okay, mathematical language, it is a system used to communicate mathematical ideas. Okay, kung yung language is used to communicate ideas, mathematical language is used to communicate mathematical ideas. Okay, so this language consists of some natural language using technical term or mathematical term and grammatical convention that are uncommon to mathematical discourse, supplemented by a highly specialized symbolic notation for mathematical formulas. The mathematical notation used for formulas has its own grammar and shared by mathematicians everywhere in the world. Okay, so iyan yung ibig sabihin ng mathematical language. Next, characteristic of mathematical language. First is precise, second is concise, and then the last one is powerful. Okay, ano ibig sabihin ng tatlo na yan? Let's start with the word precise. Pag sinabing precise, is sa Tagalog niyan, tumpak. Okay. So, sabi dyan, able to make fine distinction. Tumpak yung mga uh, isa sa characteristics, one of the characteristic of mathematical language. So, example is the use of mathematical symbol is only done based on its meaning and purpose. Okay, like plus means add. Okay, minus this one is minus, yung x is to multiply, and then this symbol is to divide. Okay, so concise, meaning, ibig sabihin, maigsi. Sa Tagalog is maigsi. Okay, so able to say things briefly. Okay, for example, the long English sentence to be shortened by using mathematical symbol. So we have 8 plus 2 equals 10, which means this one. So in symbol, 8 plus 2 is equals to 10. So mas napapaikli yung language, okay, using mathematical symbols. And then the last one is powerful. Okay, sabi dyan, to express complex thought with relative case. Example, by the application of critical thinking and problem-solving skills requires the comprehension and analysis, reasoning to obtain correct solution. Yung tipo bang hindi siya, kapag nag-isip ka critically or pag nag-solve ka ng problem, ay hindi solution agad. So, kailangan iintindihin muna, that is under the comprehension. Okay, next is analysis. I-analyze mo kung ano yung nangyari. And then, last one is reason. So, yung reasoning, ito na yung magbibigay ka ng explanation, okay, para for your correct answer. Okay, so universal mathematical language is a universal language, the only one shared by all human beings regardless of culture, religion, or gender. Actually, this mathematical language is said to be universal language kasi anywhere in the world, we use the same language or mathematical language. Okay, so minsan naiiba lang depende sa dialect pero iisa yung meaning. That is why it is called a universal language. Okay, kasi yung 1 plus 1 dito sa Pilipinas ay 1 plus 1 din naman sa Japan. Tama, di ba? Ang 1 plus 1 dito sa Pilipinas ay 1 plus 1 din naman sa Amerika. Ang 1 plus 1 sa Amerika ay 1 plus 1 pa rin naman sa Saudi. Okay, so anywhere in the world, ang 1 plus 1 ay 1 plus 1 pa rin sa iba't ibang bahagi ng mundo. Okay, so symbols. So what symbols in mathematics have you encountered? Okay, so many symbols, right? So what do you think are action words in mathematics? Kung may mga symbols na yan, okay, sa language may action word, yung tinatawag ng verb. So sa mathematics, ano kaya? Okay, so pag-aaralan natin yun. Okay, so sabi rito, instead of writing sentence with word, mathematical sentence are written in terms of numbers and symbols. So gaya ng example natin sa concise, di ba? So instead of using in words, the 8 plus 2 is equals to 10. So in symbol, pwede natin siyang i-write. Okay, so mathematics uses symbol instead of words, and the symbol can designate number, variables, operations, functions, brackets, punctuation, and groupings to help determine the order of operations. Okay, so for example, there are 10 digits. So 0, 1, 2, 3 up to 9. Okay, so there are symbols for operations. Plus, minus, multiply, and then divide. Next is a symbol that stand in for the values. Okay, we have X, Y, or any alphabet in the English alphabet. Okay, and many special symbols like this one. The pi, equals, less than or equal, and so on and so forth. So those are example of symbols. So the mga digit, the 10 digits, by the operations, the values, and then the special symbols. Okay, so mathematical expressions. Okay, mathematical analog of an English noun. Okay, so pag-aaralan natin in English in mathematical term or in mathematical mode. Okay, pag sinabi ng mathematical expression, it is a mathematical analog of an English noun. Okay, correct arrangement of mathematical symbol used to present a mathematical object of interest. And then the mathematical expression is a collection of one or more terms which are separated by the sign plus, minus, multiply, and then divide. Okay, so example natin for expressions. Later, magbibigay tayo. So, sabi rin dito, it is the correct arrangement of mathematical symbols used to present the object of interest. And, sabi dito, it does not contain complete thoughts and it cannot be determined if it is true or false. Okay. Mathematical expression is the common expression types are numbers, sets, and functions. Numbers have different names. For example, the expression is this one. So 5, 2 plus 3, 10 over 2, 6 minus 2 plus 1. Okay, so ano yung napansin nyo dyan? Okay, try to analyze those four numbers or four expressions. Okay, so they have the same result but different types of expression. So dito sa first one, okay, 5 alone or 5 itself. Ito naman sa 2 plus 3, kapag in-add natin yan, 5 pa rin yung sagot. Okay, yung 10 divided by 2, kapag kinuha natin yung result niyan, 5 pa rin yung sagot. And then about this one, this long expression, 6 minus 2 is 4, plus 1 is also 5. So, yun yung magic ng mathematics. Okay, you have the same answer, but we can have different expression, like this one. Okay, next. Okay, so how about this one? The sum of 4 times a number n plus 7. So, ibig sabihin daw, yung sum daw ng 4 times a number n and 7. Okay, so dito, pwede natin sabihin na, pwede natin unahin si n, si 4 times a number n. So, 4 times a number n is 4n. And then, since sum tayo, yung n dito magiging plus. So, ang mangyayari dyan is 4n plus 7. Okay, so from mathematical words up to mathematical symbols. So, this is kind of expression. How about this one? The sum of P and Q less the sum of N and M. Okay, so unahin muna natin to. Okay, let's start with this one. Okay, sabi dito, the sum of P and Q. So, ito ang P and Q. Okay, ang sabi dyan, sum. Pag sinabing sum, so we need to use plus symbol. Okay. And then, sabi dito, less, so minus, the sum of n and m. So, parang ganito din dyan. We have n plus m. Okay, so in this case, kailangan natin siyang i-group para mas lalong maintindihan. Kasi ang talagang magkasama ay p plus q rather, minus n plus m. Yun na yun. So, we have p plus q minus n plus m. How about this one? The square root of n. Ano ba yung symbol ng square root? Diba, square root, papaganon. Ay, yan. So, square root of n. Kukunin daw yung square root ng n. Okay, so that is the correct answer. I hope you get this one. Okay, next is let's study the mathematical sentence. So, kanina mathematical expression, so wala pa siyang thought. Dito naman, tingnan natin sa mathematical sentence. So, makes a sentence about two expression, either the number Variables are a combination of what? Okay, a mathematical sentence is a correct arrangement of mathematical symbols that states a complete thought and complete thought that can be determined if it is true or false. Kanina sa expression, hindi pa natin ma-determine kung true or false. Pero dito sa mathematical sentence, ma-determine na natin if true or false. Okay. So, sentences have verbs. Okay, so pag-aralan natin to. We have 3 plus 4 is equals to 7. And the verb is equal. Paano naging verb ang equal? Kasi nga, di ba, kung magpo-focus lang tayo dito sa 3 plus 4, it is just an expression. Kasi wala tayong ginawa. Pero pag kinuha natin yung result niyan using this symbol, which is the equal sign, okay, na ang naging result niya ay 7, kaya siya yung naging verb doon. Okay, so sabi dito, a sentence can be always true, okay, always false, or sometimes true, sometimes false. Okay, so 2 plus 3, 2 plus 1 plus 2 is equals to 3 is true. Totoo naman, di ba? Isa, dagdagan mo ng dalawa, magiging 3. Okay, so 1 plus 5 is equals to 4. It's false. How about this one? 2x is equals to 10 is sometimes true or sometimes false. Bakit siya naging sometimes true and sometimes false? Kapag yung value ng x is 1, so 2 times 1 is equals 2 times 1 is 2 and thus is not equal to 10. So naging false siya. Kailan lang siya true? Kapag yung x is equals to 5. So, 2 times 5 is 10 is equals to 10. So, that is, dun parang mangyayari na true siya. Okay, let's study this one. X is an even numbers, is close, and it is always true. Kasi, fixed yung number na 8, and yung fixed number na 8 or constant na 8 is even. So that is why it is close and always true. 9 is an even number. Okay. So close siya kasi yung 9 is a constant or fixed, hindi nababago. And always false kasi si 9 hindi naman siya even. Okay. N is an even number. Open. Bakit open? Because yung N na to, pwede natin siyang palitan ng 1, ng 2, ng 3, ng 4, ng 5, or any number. Okay, it could be true or false depending on the value of N. Okay, kung ang value ng N natin is 1, 1 is an even, so magiging close, and then always false. Ganun siya. Okay, so let us try this one. Okay, so what we're going to do here is first identify if close or open. Next is identify if always true, always false, or sometimes true, sometimes false. Okay, so let's start with this one. 10,000 is greater than 500. Okay, so this is close, and then this is always true. About this one, x squared plus 2x is equals to 9. So this is open, sometimes true, sometimes false. Next, 2 multiplied by 18 plus y is equals to 4. Okay, so this is open, sometimes true, sometimes false. Okay, how about this one? Okay, 3e minus 2b is equals to e minus 6b plus 2. Okay, so this is open, sometimes true, sometimes false. How about this one? A plus b is equals to a minus 7b minus 2. Okay, open and sometimes true, sometimes false. Okay, how about this one? Okay, so this is open and always false. Bakit naging always false? So, tingnan natin. So, dito sa left side, we have 100y. Okay, sabi dyan, less than daw siya sa 2 multiplied by 20y. So, kapag minultiply natin yung 2 dito sa 20, so we have 40, okay, 40y. So, dito, kahit anong value lagay natin sa y, hindi pa rin mababa si 100 sa 40. Di ba? Okay, kaya siya ay open pero always false. Okay, next. Okay, we have 4x plus 10 is equals to 50. So, open, sometimes true, sometimes false. About this one. Okay, open, sometimes true, sometimes false. Okay, how about this one? 100 grams is less than 3 multiplied by 33 grams. Okay, so this is open, always false. Kasi ito, magiging 99 lang yan. 99 grams lang yan. Eh, ang 100 grams ay hindi less than sa 99. Kaya open and then always false. Okay, nag-gets ba? Okay, ngayon, paano natin, ano yung magiging Q natin para palagi siyang open? Okay, palagi siyang open kapag may variables. Kapag palagi siyang close, kapag constant lang siya. So, like this one. So, dito, constant lang siya, kaya siya close. Okay, so dito naman, lahat na yan, yung mga sumunod na yan, ay may mga variables. Okay, kaya open ang lahat ng ganoon, maliban dito sa bilang example. Okay, next, solving. Ano naman yung solving? Solving means finding the value for the variables that make the sentence true. Okay, kanina dun sa mga identification natin kung open or close, sometimes true, sometimes false, or always true, always false. So, sa solving, yung mga open doon na sometimes true, sometimes false, hahanapin natin yung value kung saan lang siya magiging true. Okay. So, for example, solve x plus 3 is equals to 8. So, ngayon, yung sentence na to, mathematical sentence na to, pa-identify natin siya as open and sometimes true, sometimes false. Ngayon, kapag sinolve natin yung mathematical sentence na to, malalaman natin kung saan lang siya true. Okay, paano isolve yan? Okay, so let us subtract 3 from both sides. So we have x plus 3 minus 3 is equals to 8 minus 3. So ito maka-cancel. So matitira we have x is equals to 5. Actually, hindi cancel yun. Magiging 0 lang siya. Okay, so ibig sabihin yan, okay, to check, if we're going to substitute 5 sa x na to, which is 5 plus 3, so magiging equals to 8 siya, and that is true. Okay, so true siya kapag ang value ng x ay 5. So, yun yung ibig sabihin ng solving. Okay, so solve, which means finding the value for the variable that makes the statement true, or the sentence true. Okay, so we have solved x plus 3 is equals to 8 by making x plus x is equals to 5. Okay, nagigets? Okay, next. Okay, difficulties in mathematical language. Ano ba yung mga difficulties dyan? Okay, the word and means differently in mathematics from English in use. So, mathematics and is equivalent to plus. Okay. So, yun. Next. The different use of a number to express quantity or cardinal to indicate the order or ordinal and the label as nominal. So may magkakaiba yung gamit niyan ng cardinal, ng ordinal, and the nominal. And then next is mathematical object can be represented in many ways. In example, sets and functions. So pag-aaralan natin yung the language of sets and the language of function later on. Okay, so functions and classification of numbers. Okay, nominal numbers, attribute of subjects that is used for naming, labeling, or category. So, yung mga nominal numbers. Most likely, yung mga variable lang to eh. Okay, next. Ordinal numbers, characteristic of subject that is used for ranking or ordering. And then, cardinal numbers used for referring to quantity, measurement, or number of pieces. Okay, so, yun yung pagkakaiba-iba ng classification or function ng numbers. Okay, conventions in mathematical language. Okay, so it is a fact, name, notation, or usage which generally agreed upon mathematician. Pag sinabi convention in mathematical language, it is the facts, okay, yung mga names, yung mga notations, yung mga paggamit na pinagkaisahan ng mga mathematicians. Okay, so may mathematical conventions. So tingnan natin. So yung first column ay symbol, yung second column ay meaning, at yung third column ay example. So let's start with this one. Okay, yung symbol ay plus, ang meaning niya ay to add. So example, 3 plus 7 is equals to 10. Okay, next. Okay, yung symbol natin ay minus. Okay, ayan yung symbol. Ang ibig sabihin niyan is to subtract. And then example natin is 5 minus 2 is equals to 3. Okay, next is this one. Symbol na x, parenthesis, square bracket, curly bracket, dot, and asterisk. So, yung limang symbol na to, tama ba? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6. Yung 6 na symbol na yan ay ginagamit in multiplication. Okay, so ibig sabihin yan, pag-multiply tayo. So for example, we have 4 and then x3 is equals to 12. So 4 multiplied by 3 using the parentheses, 12 yung sagot doon. So 4 multiplied by 3 using the square bracket, so 12 ang sagot. 4 multiplied by 3 using the curly bracket is equals to 12. 4.3 or 4 multiplied by 3 using the dot is equals to 12. And then 4 asterisk 3 or 4 multiplied by 3 using asterisk is equals to 12. So do not be confused with this 6 symbol of multiplication. So lahat na yan itatrato natin as multiplication. Okay, next. So divide. So etong divide na to, yung slash, and then yung fraction. So those symbols are has a meaning of divide. Okay, so ibig sabihin yan, 20 divided by 5 is equals to 4 using the division symbol. Okay, so 20 divided by 5 using the slash is equals to 4. And then in fraction, 20 over 5 is equals to 4. Okay, so maraming estudyante ngayon ang nalilito sa fraction. Okay, hindi nila alam kung anong klaseng operation yon. So tatandaan nyo na kapag ang fraction, ang operation na ginagamit ay division. Dinidivide natin yon. Okay, next one. Okay, pi. Okay, this symbol, it has a meaning of pi. And then, ang example niyan ay area ng, area ng circle, a is equals to pi r square. Next, symbol, yung 8 na nakahiga. Ibig sabihin niyan, infinity. Okay, infinity is endless. Ibig sabihin niya, walang katapusan. Okay, how about this one? 2 bars. Parallel bars. So, ang tawag dyan ay equals. Okay, so we have 1 plus 1 equals 2. Yun yung usage nun. Okay, next symbols. We have this one. Okay, yung para siyang wave na dalawa. So, ibig sabihin yan is approximately equal to. So, kapag hahatiin natin, halimbawa, most likely kapag kapag nag-round off, kaya lang, ang naging gamit natin kapag nag-round off ay equal na. Pero, dapat talaga approximately equal yung ginagamit natin. So, dito, yung pi, approximately equal siya to 3.14. Diba ang pi is 3.1416 and so on and so forth. Diba? Yun. So, this symbol, two parallel lines na may slash. So, ang basa doon ay not equal. So, we have pi is not equal to 2. Less than or equal. Okay, so yan yung symbol. Ito yung meaning. And then 2 less than 3 is less than 3. Okay, how about this symbol naman? Kabaligtaran ng nasa taas. Ang meaning niyan is greater than or equal. So 5 is greater than 1. Okay, this symbol is used as square root or sometimes it is called radical or radical sign. Okay, so square root of 4 is equals to 2. Okay, ito naman, this symbol is degrees. Okay, ibig sabihin ay degrees. So example, 20 degrees. Okay, ito namang 3 dot in forms of triangle. Okay, ang ibig sabihin niyan ay therefore. Okay, so for example, A is equals to B, therefore B is equals to A. So, iyon yung paggamit nun. Next. Okay, order of operation is a hierarchy of mathematical operations. Okay, it is the set of rules, that determines which operation should be done before and after the other. Okay, so order of operation means yung pagkakasunod-sunod kung alin yung uunahin nating isolve. Kaya lang may rules na ginagamit. So ano yung rules na yon? Yon ang tinatawag na PEMDAS. Okay, sa elementary days nyo, ang familiar lang tayo ay MDAS. Multiplication, division, addition, and subtraction. Pero ngayon sa college or malamang sa nabagit na yun sa senior high school nyo, so we will about to use the PEMDAS. So sometimes some other books tinuturo yan as BAMDAS. Pero mas gusto ko si PEMDAS. Okay, so alamin natin kung ano yung ibig sabihin ng PEMDAS. PEMDAS. P stands for parenthesis. So parenthesis, palagi siya ang una. Huwag nating kakalimutan ni si parenthesis ang palaging una. Yan. Kasi kapag hindi nyo inuna si parenthesis, magtatampo ang sagot. Mamamali kayo ng sagot. Okay, so next is E stands for exponent. So powers or square root. Okay. Next, MD. Okay, multiplication and division. So ang rules dyan is left to right. Actually, sa akin, pwede naman mag-interchange yan kasi they have the same meaning lang naman Okay, walang problema sa akin si MD, kahit maging DM yan. Pero, sa rules nga, kailangan MD, and then from left to right. And the next is AS, so addition and subtractions, from left to right din. So, same thing with MD and AS, para sa akin, pwede siyang mag-interchange. Yung MD, pwede siyang DM, yung AS, pwede siyang SA. Okay, example tayo. Now, simplify. 16 minus 3 multiply by the square of 8 minus 3 divided by 5. Okay, ganyan yung pagbasa dyan 16 minus 3 then multiply by the square of 8 minus 3 divided by 5. Okay, kasi Kapag dinasa mo siya ng diretso, 16 minus 3 multiplied by x, 8 minus 3 square divided by 5. Parang nangyari, ang square lang natin ay 3. Di natin sinama si 8. Kaya ang proper way to read this one is 16 minus 3 multiplied by the square of 8 minus 3 is equals to 5. Okay, so using PEMDAS rule, resolve natin doon. Di ba sa PEMDAS, kailangan una si parenthesis. Okay, pag sinabing una si parenthesis, uunahin natin yung lahat ng nasa loob ng parenthesis. So, in this case, ang nasa loob ng parenthesis is 8 minus 3. So, 8 minus 3 is equals to 5. So, that's why we have here 16 minus 3 multiplied by the square of 5 minus 5. Okay. So, yun na yun. Ayun. So, kung natapos na tayo sa first, again, PEMDAS rule ulit. Hindi porket natapos na tayo sa P, hindi na ulit natin siya pwedeng gamitin. Hindi ganun yun. So, sa bawat operation, sa bawat pagsusolve natin, back to start tayo. Okay, ngayon, sabi dyan, 16 minus 3 multiplied by the square of 5 minus 5. Ayun, meron si 5 ay nasa loob ng parenthesis, ang kailangan natin ay square siya. So, ang mangyari dyan, ang mangyari dyan, kukunin natin, magpa-perform tayo ng exponential. So, kukunin natin yung square ng 5. So, ang magiging sagot yan, so 16 minus 3 multiplied by 25 divided by 5. See, 5 times 5 or 5 square is equals to 25. Okay, next. Parenthesis pa rin. So, don't forget na even this one is multiplication. Okay, tandaan nyo na ang parenthesis, we treat it as multiplication, pero siya pa rin yung una. So, ang gagawin natin, unahin ulit natin si parenthesis. So, we have 16 minus 75 divided by 5. Okay, so yun yun. So, 3 times 25 is 75. Okay, ngayon, using PEMDAS. Okay, anong una? Okay, ma-minus pa agad o di-divide muna? So, according to PEMDAS, kailangan muna siyang i-divide bago mo siya i-subtract. So, we have 16 minus 75 divided by 5. So, that is 15. 75 divided by 5 is 15. So, 16 minus 5 is equals to 1. So, this is our correct answer. Yan. So, para mas iintindihin nyo, ulitin nyo na lang yung paliwanag sa video na to. Okay, para maintindihan. Okay, next example. Simplify 14x plus 5 multiplied by 6 minus 2x plus 3. Okay, close parenthesis, close square bracket. Okay, so sometimes may nabasa ng ganito yan. 14x is equals to 5 multiplied by, okay, open bracket, minus, open bracket, 6 minus, open parenthesis, 2x plus 3, close parenthesis, close bracket, square bracket. Okay, sometimes ganun binabasa yan. Pero it doesn't matter naman kasi wala namang ano yan. Wala namang kaso yan. So ngayon, paano natin isosolve to? Using PEMDAS rule. Okay, kapag ito, kung papansinin natin, okay, meron ng parenthesis, meron pang square bracket. So, para ma-solve to, uunahin natin yung pinakaloob sa loob ng parenthesis. Okay, dito, meron tayong square bracket, meron tayong parenthesis. In this case, nasa loob ni square bracket si parenthesis. Kaya, dapat ito muna yung unahin natin. Yan. So, paano yung gagawin natin doon? Paano natin siya isosolve? Ang gagawin natin, i-distribute natin si negative sign dito at si negative sign dito. Okay, so negative times 2x, so that is negative 2x. So, negative times positive 3, so that is negative 3. So we have 14x plus 5 multiplied by this square bracket 6 minus 2x minus 3. Yun, so PEMDAS rule ulit, may parenthesis pa rin. Kaya lang in this case in the form of square bracket. So simplify natin yung nasa loob. Ayan, so paano siya isi-simplify? So may dalawa tayong constant, 3, 6, and negative 3. So we have 6 minus 3 equals to positive 3. So we have 14x plus 5 multiplied by negative 2x plus 3. Okay, so may parenthesis pa rin tayo. Gagawin natin, multiply natin sa 5 dito sa 2x, negative 2x, and then sa 5 dito sa 3. So we have 14x. Okay, 5 times negative 2x is 10x. Then 5 times 3 is equals positive 15. Okay, so simplify natin, combining similar terms. So may term tayo na x dito, and then may x din dito. So combine natin yan by 14x minus 10x. So we have 4x plus 15. So this will be our final answer. Okay, so next example. Simplify this controversial math expression. Yan, so 8 divided by 2 multiplied by 2 plus 2. Okay, so dito, dalawang sagot na lumalabas sa magkaibang calculator. If you're going to use your calculator in your cellphone, ang magiging sagot dyan ay 16. Pero if you're going to use the scientific calculator, ang sagot dyan ay 1. Pero ngayon, ano yung stand ko dyan sa tanong na yan? Okay, so gagamitin natin ang PEMDAS rule to solve this one. Ano ba talaga ang magiging sagot? 1 or 16? Okay, so let's start. Okay, using PEMDAS, ang sabi dito, unahin nyo nasa parenthesis. Unahin natin itong nasa loob. So we have 8 divided by 2 multiplied by 2 plus 2, which is 2 plus 2 is 4. Yan. 8 divided by 2 times 4. Okay, so in this case, meron tayong division and meron tayong multiplication. Kaya lang yung multiplication natin na to, naka in terms of parentheses. So dapat uunahin natin siya bago tayo mag left to right. Okay. So kapag inuna natin yung parentheses na to, we will have the result of 2 times 4, which is 8. So we have 8 divided by 8, and then we have equals to 1. So this is my stand with regard to this question. So do not, sabi ko nga kanina, di ba, huwag nating kakalimutan si parenthesis. Palagi siya natin siyang uunahin. Kahit na ang treatment natin sa parenthesis ay multiplication, parenthesis pa rin siya at kailangan pa rin unahin. So scientifically, okay, we solve x divided by 2 times multiplied by 2 plus 2 as equal to 1 and not 16. Okay, so that's all for today. Wait for my activities sa Google Classroom natin. Thank you and God bless.